Good morning and welcome to Coffee and, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.com. And now, let's join the Coffee and panel.
It is Coffee and on ON Radio and Woonie-TV. Thanks for joining us this morning, Wednesday, August 5. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan at the Coffee and Table. We'll say hi to Melissa Smith in the St. Antoine communities. Hi, Melissa.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning to you. Tim Draper's here from Navigant Credit Union. Hello there, Tim.
Greetings and salutations, all.
Thank you very much for joining us today. Comments and questions can be called in 766-1240. Our first segment sponsor, Coffee and, is the St. Antoine communities. So, Melissa, it's all yours.
Thank you. So for those of you that don't know a lot about the services available on our property, we offer a full continuum of care from assisted living to short and long-term skilled care. We have a wonderful state-of-the-art rehab facility, as well as 2 levels of memory care. And I'm always stressing the importance of reaching out in anticipation of, a loved one down the road may needing long-term placement. It's important to understand your options. It's important to understand the resources and finances involved, and just understanding Medicaid eligibility and insurance coverage and all those things prior to an emergency, prior to an occurrence that you weren't planning. Because really at our community anyways, and many others, because the aging population is growing so quickly, we have a wait list on every level of care. So it's very hard to receive calls from folks that need help urgently and to not be able to support them on the spot. And then to also try to work with them and find ulterior or alternative locations for them to get that to support, and also hit roadblocks. So bottom line is reach out. Understand your options, understand the process, and I'd be happy to help you. You can reach me at 401-767-3500 or email me at msmith@santantoine.net.
All right, Melissa, thank you very much. And we want to bring this to your the listeners' attention right now. Residents of Senate Districts 20 and 24. 20 is Brian Thompson's, and he covers Woonsocket and Cumberland. And 24 is Melissa Murray. She covers Woonsocket and North Smithfield. Or parts of North Smithfield, I should say. But if you're in those districts, you're urged to attend a community discussion to recap the highlights of this year's legislative session. Hear directly from both state senators who will be there about the key bills that were passed, how they affect your community, and share your concerns and priorities for the districts. Coffee, water, and light refreshments will be provided. It takes place tonight, August the 5th, from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Woonsocket Harris Public Library.
Would that be one of the bills where they're charging a $50 surcharge on your registration because you have a hybrid vehicle?
Great question, Tim. You should go and ask.
Well, I'm not in either of their districts. But
okay.
Is Melissa here?
Can I? Not yet.
Well, not in spirit, yes.
Because
I was like,
from what I've
She's
learned,
not in the building.
a buddy of mine who has a Tesla got a $400 charge.
Okay.
Because he doesn't use gas, so there's no gas tax for him.
Wow.
So they nailed him one way or another. They charged him $400 on his registration.
Well, how'd they come up with that number?
I don't have any idea. That's how they did it.
Okay.
So another buddy of mine has a blended hybrid.
Okay.
It's a gas. It's a Prius type thing, right? They charge him like $200 a year extra because they say he's not going to use as much gas, which is not true because it's a huge engine and he uses a ton of gas. Then there's an element called mild hybrid. Now, my truck is a mild hybrid. It's got a battery powered device attached to it that allows it to get a little bit better gas mileage. Although I think it's kind of a BS thing. It's just a way for them to charge more money. Anyway, you know what a mild hybrid is? Does your car have automatic shutoff?
Yes.
It's a mild hybrid.
Oh.
You're going to get whacked $50 extra because you have a mild hybrid.
I have to tell you, and I hate that feature.
Right,
I do
and you can turn it off.
I do too.
In most cars, you can turn it off.
And I do.
But it doesn't matter because your car has it. That's why they're going to not.
It's aggravating in many ways. I don't want to derail from your point because I agree with everything you're saying. The aggravation for me, going back to having a 16-year-old newly permitted driver trying to teach her how to drive, is when you have those impulse moments to pull out of an intersection or on a side street turning onto a busy road. Your car gives that pause, and you're like, "Ooh," because you're trying to teach them the reaction of 1, 2, 3, go, and they go, and they're like, "Ooh," and then it pulls them back, and then right. It's a struggle, for sure. But you turn it off half the time,
right? And it just drives me nuts because this is such a a contradiction in what they want. We want you to buy electric vehicles, so we are encouraging you, and
Yes.
we used to be incenting you to buy them. I don't think they incent people anymore, but they incented you to buy them. Oh, but because you're not going to use the gas, now we're going to penalize you for buying them.
Mm-hmm.
So then why would I buy an electric car for 3 times the amount of money? Why wouldn't I just buy my gas guzzler, and then I don't have to, then I don't have to pay the extra tax? I'll just pay it in my gas tax. It's so frustrating. Rather than cut anything, we're just going to add a tax.
So can we stay on this path of technology and being forced into technology that we don't agree
Joe,
with?
can we?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do today, so go ahead.
So glad you're here, Joe. It's the Tim and Melissa show
Just
now.
sit back and relax. We'll let you know when you can come on.
We purchased the car that I'm driving, which is a Passport, 2 years ago, used. It was a 2-year-old used car, only 15,000 miles on it. I have had nothing but issues with the CarPlay mode. Now, CarPlay is supposed to really be a great opportunity for you to marry your phone to your computer screen in your car, so you can see all features, apps, whatever, but also
don't have to hold
importance
the
of
phone in your
Waze
hand.
for travel,
Right. Yep.
Navigation. The issue that I have is I didn't want new technology to begin with. I had gotten into an accident. We had to get a car, and I said this on the air 2 years ago. I'm aggravated. It's hard to understand. It's distracting. There's too many things on the screen. I would love to have the option of buying a car without the tablet screen, essentially what it is, which no cars come like that, and I know that, and I've accepted it now. However, for 2 years, I've had issues with my CarPlay mode. I got it checked out the other day, and I was told basically, I don't know what to tell you. We can't fix it. We tried a factory reset. You need to replace it. It's going to be like $3,000 for the stupid computer console screen. None of the other apps have an issue. The radio works great. Bluetooth works great. Everything else works great.
Is it
just that?
Is it wireless CarPlay?
No, it's wired in.
It's wired in, huh?
And it's not the USB plug, because the USB charges my phone, but it does not relay the transfer to the screen. And I've talked to so many people about this, and they have equally had issues, and they've just succumbed because they're like, I'm not paying $3,000 to replace the stupid computer console on your car. And to me, it's frustrating because it has nothing to do with the operation of the vehicle. This is not the computer that operates my car.
Right.
It is the computer that operates my radio, my Bluetooth.
Right.
So I just had to get that rant out there, because why do not car dealerships at this point, and I know we all need to roll with the times, I would be all in if they offered a model of the option out of having that technology, because it's not worth me.
They'll never do that.
I don't
Bring
think
me
they can.
back to FM, AM radio only with
a lot of times they create the programming so that things like lane departure and dynamic cruise control, all those features are run through that particular part of the computer.
I don't like those features either.
Yeah,
I turn them all off.
Can I tell you what? It would have been nice to have one this past weekend, because I might have had a little bit of an accident.
You did?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Is that why your truck's not here?
I'm fine. Yep.
I'm sorry,
had I had the
Tim.
lane departure, I would have been okay, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Well,
I'm glad
anyway,
you're here with us.
Yeah.
So the two senators back to that are going to be at the Socket Irish Public Library tonight,
Sorry,
6
everybody.
to 8 p.m. if you want to come down and talk to Melissa Murray or Brian Thompson about what passed and what didn't.
So listeners, ask that question and report back to us next Wednesday.
They're calling it the end of legislative session coffee hour.
Yeah, I could probably just wait until Melissa gets here and ask her myself.
All right, so there.
Joe,
there we
do you
go.
ever arrive at work and say on Wednesdays, "Oh dear God, today"?
Oh, I
is...
never have to worry.
I never have, there's no lull in the conversation.
It's funny because you're doing the show for so long. It used to be the Fridays. I had Tom Ward and John Gregory.
Yeah.
And
you didn't have to go.
I didn't have to do anything.
Right.
So Tom and John, hey, how about that Donald Trump? And then I'd just walk away.
Just walk away. You can go to the bathroom.
Oh
go
gosh,
get a drink.
so it's the same thing now on Wednesdays. Let's talk
I've never seen you get up and walk away.
Well, not literally going to get up and walk away. But it's the same kind of thing on Wednesdays.
We're going to see how hard we can work you to the point of getting up and walking out to your car, going down the street for a coffee, and coming back.
It's never an issue on Wednesday. It's now things that are going to come up. So anyway, things that have come up in the news, and I like when people are industrious, except when you're breaking the law about being industrious. And it looks like some of our local homeless people have decided. Now they got caught. Okay, they went into the old church on Rathbun Street. What's the name of the church? It's the St. Louis Parish. Okay, busted in and have been living there for quote unquote some time because everything was there.
Yeah.
They're sleeping in the beds. that were there in the rectory. And
oh, jeez, bathrooms are there.
Clothes are hung up in the closet, and little knickknacks on the end tables, including fentanyl.
Oh, well.
And so, but finally, someone, a city worker, said, "Hey, that door's ajar and really shouldn't be because it should be locked."
Yeah.
And so police went in and talk about it's a Goldilocks story. The first person they ran into immediately put his hands on his head. Okay, caught. The other two are sleeping. They had to go wake him up. To say, okay, hey, you're under arrest. Hey, you gotta get up. You're coming with us. And they just said, yeah, they've been squatting there for some time.
Wow.
So there's all sorts of charges that are being thrown at them. Breaking into a public building.
Does the church own it?
No, the church sold it to the city. The city owns it.
Oh, well.
Which is why the city guy was looking, hey, that shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
And so this all took place about a week or so ago. And a man 27, a man 46, a man 45. Two have, when they ask for your ID, they've got identification and they got residences other places. At least on their ID they do.
Yeah.
But they've been living here. Well, it's summertime, so it's warm enough, so you don't have to worry about it being freezing.
Right.
Probably too warm sometimes. But it's free, and we haven't got caught. And I said, well, that's industrious that they've figured this out.
It sounds like
got there, but
they found a use for the building. The city should probably look into that.
Well, they get arrested, and then what? So they
let's see,
potentially face jail time.
They're not going to get.
They're
just going to get.
Right?
They'll be
and
booked.
Then you get released. What? You're releasing them back to
the
a homeless status, which is
breaking into a public building. Public building, business, or house of worship during the daytime. I don't know what the difference between nighttime and daytime is, but it's a felony. And two of them were charged with one count each of misdemeanor possession of fentanyl. And then they do this if taken into custody without incident. So they just gave it up. And the city acquired the church in 2022.
Yeah.
So 4 years ago.
Yeah.
$1 million. After the Vatican said, yeah, that's fine, you can sell it.
Right.
So, but the city hasn't done anything with it in 4 years.
I mean, to me,
years.
this is my Pollyanna view of the world. Excuse me. You get three people living in this place. Clearly, you know that it's a place where people could live. So, what would it take to turn it into housing for the homeless? And then you would have to have somebody at least supervise it, so the fentanyl or crack or whatever wouldn't be on the coffee tables. But if that was a place that people could go and be safe, we've just kind of solved the problem for 5 or 6 homeless people, I would think. Now, that's, again, very pie in the sky, but we probably have 1 million regulations involved in this.
Oh, I'm sure.
That make it so onerous for the city to actually be able to do that.
And we've had a lot of conversations on the air about, like, where do you begin with the homeless problem in Woonsocket and how do you tackle it? We've talked about the mobile showers and everything else. And how do you, lead folks that are homeless to services and supports that they need to get them into the right path and get them off the streets or get them out of the woods and all of their camps? I guess I was along the same lines as you, thinking, they've identified a place, a shelter that's vacant. Why not utilize it? Like you said, minus the fentanyl.
Right.
But I also was thinking in my head, it would be when I asked the question about, are they being arrested and now will they face jail time or are they going to be released right back out? I would love to be able to, this is my old social worker hat, but sit down with them and really case study them, understand,
how'd you get here?
Why did you get here? Why did you get here? And we want to preserve your freedom. We understand that you're struggling and you want some space, and drugs might be a component of that, and maybe that's all that's driving your decision. But what if we could get you on track? What if we could, it just feels like
there's an opportunity
an opportunity, and I guess all I'm hearing is probably they've been arrested, they're going to be released, and move on, and
without
they're going to be back in
any plan for them
status.
going forward.
So
we hope there's a plan.
Yeah.
All right, going to take our first break now here on the Coffee and Program.
Wow, that
it does go well. We had a lot to talk about with technology.
Yeah. Joe, you barely said anything.
I know.
Sorry. Okay.
But it's back to you, Melissa. Second message, please, from the St. Antoine communities.
We are in the home stretch of planning and preparation for our annual golf tournament, which is going to be August 17th. It is our 27th annual tournament, so it is has a long-standing tradition of being this like high level experience for our golfers, and a wonderful planned out, executed day by all of our wonderful volunteers and staff at St. Antoine Community to raise money and supports for special projects at our community. And so I'm opening up the invitation to anybody listening. If you know of someone who has a small business, or you in fact own a small business and you are interested in promoting the work that you do, and are interested in donating a basket or a gift certificate for us to include in our raffles or our silent auctions for our golfers, you are absolutely welcome to reach out to me, 401-767-3500. Be happy to meet up with you and collect that donation and display it amongst our other generous donations that have been given to us. So thank you to all those folks that have provided us with some amazing baskets and opportunities. Hopefully Tim will see you there and you can bid on some of them. Yeah. So this is more or less letting you know that our tournament's coming up in 2 weeks. We're in the final stretch, so if you're interested, reach out sooner than later. Thank you so much.
All right there, Melissa. Thanks. And the Coffee and program will continue. We've got a note to get to. You can call on yours at 766-1240.
First news, best music. This is ON Radio.
If you ask most anyone in Woonsocket who has the best breakfast in town, the likely answer will be Missy's Family Restaurant. For great service, great food, and a nice cozy atmosphere, the only place to go is Missy's Family Restaurant, 801 Clinton Street, Woonsocket. And be sure to visit their Facebook page for weekly specials. If you're looking for home-style cooked meals at an affordable price, then you should stop in today to Missy's Family Restaurant. They're open Saturday through Thursday, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Fridays, they're open 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. The Coffee and panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
ON Worldwide.
Here we are on the Coffee and program. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Joe Callahan here with Tim Draper and Melissa Smith. We get a note called in, 766-1240.
The note is, shut up, Melissa and Tim.
Give Joe a chance.
You can respond after I say what the note says. Here we go. Last week on Coffee and, doesn't say what day, but last week on Coffee and, the panel mentioned, or someone on the panel mentioned, that at the present time the Woonsocket police are to be commended on the job they are doing. This person disagrees. He just says, really, with a lot of question marks. The speeding in this city is off the map, constantly over the limit on many streets. Isn't that one of the priorities the force should put front and center? Speeding leads to injuries and, yes, death. Everyone knows that. It's a fact. So the first thing I want to say about that, should the police force put it front and center? No. The police department, in my opinion, police department are there to protect, which might be this under protection, but they're there to stop crime from happening and to arrest the bad guys, like sleeping in churches when you shouldn't be sleeping in churches because it is a crime. Yeah. That's their first job to do.
Right.
Then if we can get around to slowing speeders down, then we can try to slow them down. Okay,
right.
Go ahead.
Right. No,
I feel like there should be a stoplight behind Joe.
All right, you're on.
Let me talk until the red light turns green.
We need a timer. Go.
And then he can put it to yellow when he wants to transition back to himself.
20 seconds left.
Like a debate, a debate thing.
Okay, thoughts on the police?
I think you're probably right, Joe. I think that's traffic is
issue.
important. It's an issue. And I would say go to any town, and you're going to find that to be the issue pretty much in any town. Towns deal with it in different ways. Some of them do traffic calming measures by putting, the humps in the middle of the road, and some put cameras up and all this other stuff. There's a lot of ways technology could solve your speeding problem if you really wanted to, but those people who don't want to be on camera will complain and moan and groan about that. But it is a training tool for people to not speed. Everybody complains about the school zone cameras, and I would agree that seems to be a classic play for getting cash. But the reality is when I drive through Pawtucket down Newport Avenue, I'm going less than 30 miles an hour when I'm driving in front of those schools, and that's what you're supposed to do.
It's changing habits. When those signs go up and the blinking lights in those slow down areas, it's changing because you probably used to fly through there, but now I'm going to get zapped.
And the funny thing is, flying through for me would have been like 35 miles an hour.
Right.
But you can't go over 30 in those zones, otherwise you're going to
some communities,
and it's $50.
And I'm speaking specifically of Pawtucket. Some communities, I didn't know that was a school.
Right.
It looks like a factory.
Right. And there's the problem. You didn't know it was a school, so you just kept. Maybe if you knew, you might have slowed down. But So I would agree that's to me, traffic is a secondary responsibility of the police force, and there's usually a traffic enforcement unit as part of the police.
Melissa?
Don't disagree at all. So all of that, but I'm going to go back to the technology piece. I am shocked to this day with everything going on, self-driving cars and all the technology and gadgets in the cars, that there is not any kind of regulation where, like, almost a magnet, I guess is what I'm imagining. I'm not an engineer, and I'm not trying to pretend like I am one, but it just is interesting to me that we haven't, or maybe this is the future of cars, where you're driving through certain zones that your car can be capped out at a certain speed. Because you're right. And even 146 recently going, right up through my area, specifically Woonsocket, North Smithfield up to Uxbridge, that stretch of 146 has accidents regularly, some fatal. There was just another fatal one last weekend. And
man from Cumberland died.
Yep, a young man, 26.
Yeah.
And you just say to yourself, at what point, you've got the lane changing departure lane vibration in your car, trying to keep you safer when you're driving, when you keep it on.
Yep.
But I'm surprised that your car is still even allowed to go all the way up to speeds of like 180. And I'm just wondering at some point if there's enough accidents, fatal accidents, that they start to put you into a magnetic warp when you're driving that automatically slows down your car. I guess
it could be done.
I wonder if that'll be the future of driving, is what I'm saying. It's no longer speed limits. It's more like speed zones where it just zaps down the speed of your car without even your control.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I just gave someone an idea.
Maybe.
And now cars are going to cost even more money.
Even more money.
That little technology.
Right.
Anyway, this is what the cops should be doing, and they are doing it. An investigation, they found a 7-year-old girl wandering around Blackstone Street.
Right.
On the morning of August 2nd, all by herself. And the child also was on the autism spectrum. But she was unharmed. So eventually they located the mother, Rita Diaz Mendoza of 33 of Borden Boulevard, and she was charged with 2 counts of child neglect. Another woman, Brenda Lees Bermudez, 33 of Blackstone Street, she was charged with 5 counts of child neglect and obstructing police, because when they went back to the apartment, they found 4 of the kids.
Oh, jeez.
Now, they say unsupervised, and we're going to get to Melissa's take on this. The oldest child, was 14.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got 11, 9, and 8. Well, if you're 14, the other kids are supervised.
Yep.
I supervised my 10-year-old brother when I was 14, and the other 2 were 18 and older. They were out of the house working or whatever, and my parents had to go somewhere. Joe, you're in charge of the 10-year-old. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you got the daughters.
100%.
By the time your daughter was 14, your daughter was 12. You could leave your 14-year-old alone.
100%. And I will say that, in my mom's circle of friends, like over the years, I mean, there were some cases that I was a little bit eyebrow raising on some of them when they were like, "Hey, I can't get home from work early enough. They're going to get themselves off the bus and welcome themselves into their house, and I'm going to watch them on the Life 360 camera, and I'm going to," and you're talking, that was starting at age 10. I have no judgment in the situation. Are they raising the flag because this child had autism? Possibly, more than anything. But if it was a child without a disability,
the more of the story is the whole group of them go to the Holy Trinity Family Parish Festival on Saturday night, and then they go back home. And at least the 2 women, at least one, the woman Bermudez, who was supposed to be babysitting, after she drops them off, she decides to go out. Tells the 14-year-old, "I guess you're in charge." Now they find the 7-year-old wandering the streets Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Bermudez hasn't come back from wherever she went, and she's telling a bizarre, convoluted story.
Yeah,
I thought this was the same.
Police.
You're saying it was the next day. So that's.
So
there's judgment now.
And now, so the whole thing.
So I look at it more like, would
DCYF.
you leave your? I wouldn't leave my 14-year-old at age 14
overnight
doing a sleepover watching my younger daughter while I went out for the night.
Especially if there was a special needs involved.
Yes.
Well, maybe I don't have it here. Maybe he said, "Well, watch them for a little while. I'm going over to so-and-so's house, be back in an hour." And they just don't come back.
It just turned into all night.
That's
very different.
Because,
now I'm agreeing with the...
Go to bed when you feel like it, and I'll be back
You have a
soon.
responsibility as a parent, still.
Yeah.
So
I just recently, like last year when we went to Greece, felt comfortable with my 18-year-old doing a few nights alone without sending them to my parents' house. So, that was a big hurdle then. But an overnight is different. I'm sorry, I probably skipped too fast on you. But when you said that they were found the next morning, I wasn't thinking.
Well, the 7-year-old was found the next morning wandering the streets.
So now I'm. Yep.
Okay.
And they found a kid in Providence too, by the way.
And so the police contacted DCYF, and they're looking into the whole living situation going on there.
Yeah.
So, all right, there you go. So speaking of
what the police should be doing.
Yes. And so speaking of the flock cameras,
Narragansett,
who has the flock cameras, have decided to get rid of them.
It's a second town in Rhode Island.
What's the other town?
Who was it? So Narragansett voted to get rid of them, and one other town, because the stories came back to back. It was like really strange that these two towns decided they wanted to get rid of it. There's a second town. I'll look it up.
Okay.
But what were their reasons for getting rid of them?
Well, they're just residents and public officials. They're voicing privacy and constant surveillance concerns about the automated license plate readers. These are the people living in town, driving by the cameras every single day, and my picture is being taken every time I drive by these things. I don't like it.
Right. Well, your license plate is getting taken.
Well, that's right. And so I'm being tracked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time.
But don't you think you're being tracked anyways? Your phone is with us, and you are being tracked all the time.
Well, I think it becomes a balance, right? It becomes those cameras, if you ask law enforcement, are doing wonders in catching bad guys and bad girls, right? They're stolen cars, murder suspects.
Hey, now it's over here.
Right.
We know
This was the
exactly
license plate. We got to find the license plate. Those cameras are okay. The car was just here. Oh, now it's here. No, now they're tracing patterns. It's public safety versus the surveillance society, I guess, is what it is. I struggle with it. I will be honest. I struggle with it because I would much rather be safe than worry about if I'm not doing anything wrong. Then who cares?
So people in our town so I'm in North Smithfield, all up in arms because this conversation's been going in circles, and I guess the Lowe's parking lot has added some. People were questioning why they're allowed to have whatever.
But they're not flocked.
But that makes sense to me because I'm like, well, they should worry about it because they have a lot of lumber out in the yard. They have a lot of equipment out in front all the time, whatever. So there's been like on our town page some question marks raised about it. So last week, I'm not sure if I talked about this on the air because I think it happened when I left here. I drove by on Great Road. There is a huge, if you've been through, I think it's the crossroad of, it's not Woonsocket Hill. It's right near the cemetery. I forgot what the name of the crossroad is. A huge bloodbath of white paint.
I have seen that.
Okay.
I wonder what that is.
My coworker happened to work very late a couple nights prior.
Yeah.
And drove through that intersection.
It was South Main Street.
Until you're on it. She didn't see it.
Yeah.
Saw it and was like, what is this?
What is that?
Kept driving. Realized as she's in it, it's wet.
Oh.
And she's like, oh my God, this is
paint?
White paint. She's in a brand new Audi.
Oh.
Black Audi.
All on her tires.
Couldn't move to the left because there's cars at the light. So she's like, I had no choice but to stay in it, right? And it was dark. Couldn't really evaluate it till she got home. White paint all the way up on the sides of her car.
Wow.
She has talked to the town of North Smithfield. She's talked to the state police. She's talked to anybody. There are no cameras in the area. So she has no way of filing a claim of complaint or whatever.
Right.
She just got the estimate for her car, and it's $20,000 to have it repainted.
Oh, my God.
When I tell you, like, the conversation has circulated quite a bit now. How many cars went through that intersection?
Oh, yeah,
Whose paint was it? And how did they not go back and, like, put a cone up in the street or alert authority, something? Because
did someone admit to spilling it?
No.
Great.
She has every right, and
Probably
so
a contractor
she's
put it on
talked
the
to
back of his
police
truck,
department,
drove
everything.
away, didn't realize it was here.
It's very frustrating for her, and I'm just using this as an example of, it's not all crime-related activity.
That would
There's
help if
these
there were
moments where
cameras.
you're like, how many cars were? She's
Right.
like, it wasn't even my car at that point. It's every car I drove by must have also gotten splattered.
Right.
And to know her estimate to get it you're going to have to get it taken care of. It's brand new. She's like, I'm not going to drive around with a black car
With
Right.
white.
fully
So I don't-
covered in white paint.
So that's the thing. The flock cameras, I don't think, are looking for things like that. I think they're looking at license plates, and it was South
They are.
Kingstown. South Kingstown and Narragansett
And
both
Narragansett,
voted
okay.
unanimously to remove them early from their contracts. It's going to cost them
How many-
tens
yeah.
of thousands of dollars to break those contracts
Wow.
because Flock is saying, I'm sure they're in the contract it says, you're going to owe us this amount of money. If you break early, you're just going to have to pay us what we're getting on an average monthly basis from you for whatever. So those towns have just made a financial decision to get rid of those cameras, which were providing public safety.
Contract ends September of 2027.
Right.
Yeah,
so they got a year and a half. Right. Wow. So.
And I'm just going to say again, your phone tracks you whether you want it or not. Right. I had a conversation with my sister on the phone. The next thing you know, we're talking about puppy yoga, and it's all up in her feed. Whatever. It immediately. You don't even have to do anything, and you're being tracked all the time. So why are you worried about a camera on top of it?
And remember how important those cameras were on catching the Brown University shooter. Oh. Remember that?
Yes.
All the Ring cameras that were around. And they were mad that Brown didn't have cameras in that building.
And how many residential homes were in the vicinity, the span of the cameras?
Right.
Those homeowners were not upset about that.
I just don't understand why the people of Narragansett and South Kingston, all those other communities that don't want these flock cameras, but they want public safety. Like, how are you going to get this public safety?
Quiet suburban areas.
Yeah,
nothing's going to happen.
They said
here.
nothing ever happens in South Kingston until the first murder, and then they can't find the guy because he drove away in a car.
Yeah. And what about the summertime in Narragansett?
Right.
What happened?
On the beaches.
On the beaches.
Exactly.
I also just think you can't rely on Ring doorbell apps and all those kinds.
Well, no,
they
only point in one direction.
Exactly. And not everybody has them.
Right,
so
right. All right, break time. Let's take a look at the forecast right now, which is being brought to you by the YMCA.
Mostly sunny skies today with a high of 86 degrees and calm wind. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with an overnight low of 67. Thursday's weather, mostly sunny, high near 89. A 30% chance of a shower or thunderstorm late in the day, and heat index values as high as 98 on Thursday. Friday, mostly sunny and hot with a high of 90. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high of 88 degrees. Sunday, sunshine and 88. Monday, mostly sunny and 88. And Tuesday, a 30% chance of a shower, mostly sunny with a high of 85 degrees.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street with the sunny skies, we have 71 degrees. At the YMCA, your goals, your crew, your place. Make this year your strongest yet at the Y. Join today at ymca.org/nearme.
Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogies with onions and what they call dirty sour cream. Or pick up golubki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also offer a large selection of specialty and imported foods. Open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 9 in the morning till 6 p.m., Wednesdays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays from 8 to 5 p.m. It's Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse. Follow us on Facebook and learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street, Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love.
As drivers, we encounter motorcycles on the road every day, and motorcycle safety is a two-way street. So give motorcycles extra space when stopping and starting. Check your mirrors and blind spots. Share the road, but never try and share a lane. Every rider could be a father, a son or a brother, a mother, a daughter or a sister, or the whole world to someone very special. Brought to you by the Rhode Island Police Chiefs Association and the Rhode Island Broadcasters Association.
ON Radio.
All right, it is Coffee In on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Joe Callahan here with Melissa Smith and Tim Draper. Tim, time for first message from Navigant Credit Union.
Thanks, Joe. You're probably hearing on the station we're doing a lot of publicity for our Embark checking account, which is a young person's account designed to help you and your young person understand their finances better, give them a head start on how to manage money. There's nothing worse than releasing somebody into the wild without having any understanding of how to balance a checkbook or even just keep track of your money, knowing where it goes. Those types of things are really important. And budgeting, all that stuff. There's a financial analyst that says it's interesting. You grow up and you never talk about money with your parents. When I grew up,
Oh, God, no.
It was not my business to talk about my parents' money. and then you're expected to go into a world which is driven by financial decisions. So, the Embark checking account, or I keep saying checking. The Embark account, which is a demand deposit account, technically, it gives your child a chance to really understand the basics of banking. So, if you're looking for that, you can open it up as little as $10 deposit. You can either do it online or run into the branch. I understand Dave's got a nice little business spotlight set up in Park Square, so go see what he's got over there for you. And while you're there, open up an Embark account for your young person.
The only time my father ever told me anything about his finances was when I was applying to college, and I was accepted at Syracuse University, and I wanted to go to Syracuse University. And then came my financial aid package from Syracuse.
Yeah.
They gave me $1,000.
Isn't that gross? It's just
and this is 40 years ago when that was still nothing.
Yeah.
And they looked at what the tuition was going to be, and he just said, "Joe, we just cannot afford it.
Right.
My salary will not let us afford you to go."
Well,
Rhode Island College, here we come.
That's what happened. I went to New Hampshire to a college, Daniel Webster College. Made it through a semester. My dad had a business that went belly up. I came home and there was no more money for college, I ended up going to Bryant. Worked at Tire Pros in Woonsocket 30 hours a week. Went to Bryant full time and paid my way through school. So it was.
It's insane now, and Joe knows too because he's got a kid in college. But and my kid being in college, we've talked about that. We've had the advantage of tuition exchange with my husband's job, working out of college, and feel so blessed. But like your kid just even living out of college is insane. Your kid and there's no financial aid for that. That's it's just towards tuition, right? So all those kids getting scholarships, it's at least covering their education, perhaps. But housing to live at a college can range. I mean, in our searches last year, anywhere from $18,000 to $25,000 a year. When
the kids went to Worcester to school, my daughter, who was the first, the pioneer of the three, she lived in housing on campus for 2 years, and then we just kind of realized that it costs a fraction of that amount of money if she got 3 roommates and they just rented an apartment.
100%.
And so she ended up the first year with 7 girls and 1 bathroom in an apartment. That was fun.
Very memorable for her.
Very memorable. But she's still friends with all 6 of the 7.
That's a story I want to hear.
An argument.
And then there's her final year. She had 3 roommates, 2 bathrooms, much better setup. But it cost us so much less for them to live off campus in an apartment. You just got to find the right roommates and the right landlord.
You could do the cool thing like I did, which was be an RA.
Oh, that's true.
I could not convince my daughter to do this year. I'm like, don't you want to save the $20,000 of housing and be an RA? It's way cooler.
No, she don't want to do that.
I don't blame her in some ways. There's so many more stressors in training as an RA today than there was when I was in college 30 years ago.
Well, kids are different, and they're just more.
Kids are different, but the trainings include like gun violence and when you're searching the rooms, you're no longer searching for drugs anymore. You're looking for weapons. Like that's a hefty toll. So
the other option that we had were, and I know several people did this, is buy. Sorry, Joe.
I'm laughing because he was looking for the yellow light.
I know.
He was trying. No.
Is to buy a house or a condo in like Narragansett, and then put your kids there. Your tuition becomes your mortgage. I mean, your room and board becomes your mortgage.
It'd be smart.
And then you get other people to, rent the house for your kid, and then all of a sudden that becomes your mortgage payment. Yep. And then you just continue to rent it out, and then when it's all done, you've got a vacation house in Narragansett, I guess.
I've told that story before. I knew a family that did that.
Yeah.
And they would discriminate, not based on race.
Girl versus boy.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Only girl tenants.
No, other way around. The guys always left the house exactly how they found it at the end of the year.
Oh, I'm surprised you're saying this.
One year they rented to 4 girls. The place was a wreck.
Yeah.
At the end in May.
I heard stories like that too.
And they just said at that time, to themselves, say it publicly, we'll never rent to females ever again.
My middle son, whose house he rented.
I was
from
not prepared for you to say that.
Right, from this woman in Worcester, said she wouldn't rent to girls either. Wow. It was only to the boys, and the way she got around it was the boys would come to her when the seniors would come when they were moving out and go, hey, we know these people, they're really good.
So it was like a handoff.
And it was a handoff. Mm-hmm. So that's the way she got around the discrimination thing, I guess.
Is it part of Is it because you pay a deposit in case something breaks, and do the girls just say, I don't care about it, but the guys want their money back?
Yeah.
I don't know. But she said that the landlord said that the boys were always left the place better and had fewer complaints.
Yeah.
And a lot of times fixed the things that needed to get fixed.
Wow.
Yeah. What's fascinating is my niece goes to Fairfield in Connecticut, and it's right on like a coastline. There's like a beach access point down there. And freshman year, my brother had to sign a lease for senior year to have one of the houses that's on because that's like the big draw. And I'm thinking to myself, you just paid for. He's got 3 kids in college at once. You just took care of, your youngest coming through, going in, paying tuition, all the things, and you're writing a check for rent for her senior.
4 years.
You don't even know what her grades are yet coming out of freshman year. You don't even know circumstances.
She may not make it.
She may not like it. She may fall out of friendships with some of these girls that they're all signing. But that's the reality of some of the apartment situations in areas that are not like a city base where there's a lot of options, where you have limited options, and I'm like, that's insane.
Yeah.
Well, we had this story yesterday on a completely different topic because we had the story yesterday that the beach, or one of the beaches at Martha's Vineyard, was reopening yesterday
after
because they had an incident Friday afternoon. Someone was caught in the riptide, and some people got out safe, but one they had to go rescue, and then they closed the beach down because of the riptide. They finally reopened it, but that person they had to rescue passed away. 55-year-old man from Cambridge. He was rescued Friday afternoon off West Tisbury, in West Tisbury, I should say. They pulled him out of the water because he was caught in the riptide. He was taken to Martha's Vineyard Hospital, but he was pronounced dead later on. I didn't realize he passed away.
There is a term that's called, what is it called? It's when you can be drowning in a sense, and you can be rescued, and you could be resuscitated and brought to the hospital, whatever, and go back home, and then have like a residual drowning called. I forgot what it's called.
I don't have it here.
I wonder if that's what happened. If they rescued him, got him out of there, and then he
could have had a heart
attack. All I know is
that's
why I don't like the ocean. I would much prefer a lake. There's no rip currents in a lake.
And then that story in California with a riptide with a 16-year-old. Did you see that? The lifeguard that was 16.
Yeah.
What a brave young boy he was.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Even he had trouble standing up after he pulled the kid out.
That footage was
it was disturbing a little bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There was an incident in Attleboro. There was a strong odor that was sickening employees out of business on Pleasant Street, which is Route 123, which is a pretty long street, but they don't say what the business was.
Yeah, probably a jewelry business.
But they called in the hazmat team, and they found nothing. No hazardous materials were found. They don't know where the odor was coming from.
Weird.
So it's like that is bizarre. And
dead animal in a wall.
Maybe. Didn't say how many employees had to go over to the hospital, but
we had
to clean it out.
We had an issue in our church last week where they actually had to close the church down for a couple of days because they were having this really awful smell in the church, like a noxious odor. Turns out we have an elevator in the church, and for some weird reason the elevators run on a battery, and it was an incorrect battery or a defective battery that was giving off a sulfurish odor in the church.
Wow.
But it was the whole church, and they had to close it down, ventilate it, and I mean it's all back to normal now.
Holy cannoli.
Yeah.
Well, I don't agree with this, but I'm not in charge. So a man is receiving a 1 year of probation for opening a JetBlue emergency exit at Logan Airport. In May, Angel Luis Morales Torres pleaded guilty to damaging or disabling an aircraft. The plane was going from Boston to San Juan, Puerto Rico. They were taxiing for takeoff, and he decided to open the door.
Oh.
Why?
Well, it never gives you the why they did this. It just tells you what happened to him. Opening the door. Well, once they opened the door, it deployed the emergency slides. Well, now we can't take off.
Right.
Forcing the plane to stop and delaying the flight. Now, this part's good. He's going to pay JetBlue $60,000 in restitution. Does he have $60K? Probably not. I don't know how he's going to pay this. And he's got to participate in mental health treatment as well. But no jail time.
I have to say, when you are on a flight and you see that pull door, like the arm, I sit curiously. I would never do it. I would never do it.
Remind me not to sit next to you on an airplane.
Why is it so just there? Like, why is it so
the
accessible?
flight attendants always come and say, do you feel comfortable and willing to run the emergency door if you need to?
I'm just shocked that they don't have why it's amongst the people. Why it's not amongst.
Well, on some JetBlue flights, they actually have a jump seat for the flight attendants.
Like right there? Yeah. It just looks too... Like, there's no... you know, sometimes like a fire extinguisher in like a public area has at least a plastic box over it, like something that you would have to smash and then open. It's sitting there. And so he just not a well individual.
Yeah, just I don't want to go.
Changed my mind.
I changed my mind. All right, we're going to take another break here on the Coffee and Program. So, Tim, time for your second message from the folks over at Navigant Credit Union.
Thank you, Joe. And while Melissa's wrapping up her golf tournament, we're in the throes of ours at the foundation. And it is, we're just looking for anybody who would like to purchase a T-sign for our event. You can go to our website, navigantcu.org, and right at the top, we'll take you to a link where you could actually do that right there. And again, the funds that we're raising for this golf tournament are going to go right back into the community, into lots of different organizations around the state. We vet them out for folks who choose to be philanthropic but may not know where to put the money. And our pillars at the foundation are public health, safety, and welfare, social services, and education/financial literacy. So if there's a nonprofit in one of those areas, we will likely look at that and have funded, almost 100 now in the past 5 years since we've been giving money away. Put about $2.5 million back out into the community. So we're pretty proud of that. And this golf tournament is just going to help us increase and amp up that effort. So if you're interested in purchasing a T-sign, please do so at navigantcu.org.
All right, Tim, thanks. And the Coffee and Program will continue. The fun's coming.
The fun is...
ON Radio.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Road construction is ongoing in Woonsocket, and while it is inconvenient for most of us, it really hits others harder. That's the case with Belo's Flowers on Diamond Hill Road. Some people think they're closed. Not true. They're open for business, and you can reach them if you approach from the west, the Social Street and Wood Avenue side. Yes, there is a sign at Wood Avenue that states Diamond Hill Road Bridge is closed, but you can still get to Belo's. It's on this side of that bridge. They have a cooler full of cut flowers and other floral arrangements that you just love to own. Plus, Belo's has houseplants, dish gardens, hanging pots, 3-foot tomato plants. Remember, Belo's Flowers remains open, but until construction is finished, the only way to reach them is to turn onto Diamond Hill Road from Social Street or Wood Avenue and make your way over to 665 Diamond Hill Road on this side of the bridge. That's Belo's Flowers, still open during the bridge construction.
ON Radio.
It's Coffee and on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Melissa Smith and Tim Draper. And just to follow up, Belo's Flowers is open. You can only get there one way because they're working on the Diamond Hill Bridge.
Yep.
So you can only come in from the Social Street area. If you're coming from the other way on Diamond Hill Road, you can't get there from here right now. So people are making the assumption that Belo's is closed. They're not.
Oh, okay.
It's just taking a different.
Yeah, different.
You have to go one way to get there.
How long are they doing the bridge for?
Months.
Oh.
The last time Belo's talked to them, first it was going to be, this will be done in September. Now this will be done in October.
Is it a city bridge or state bridge?
It's a state road, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's state.
They're replacing 295 Diamond Hill Road over 295 starting this weekend.
Oh, goody.
Yeah, but you know what? Rapid replacement. Route 7 over 295.
Yeah.
Route 7 over 295. They did in like 3 months. Both sides completely done.
Not like Mendon Road.
Not like Mendon Road.
That took years.
They did a rapid. They call it a rapid replacement.
Okay.
And I was stunned at how fast they did with something. Like, oh my God, they're almost finished.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's the way they
That
set
looks
up
good,
the Diamond Hill
too.
Road.
Well, I hope so.
Well, now they're putting a median
they've
down the middle, so they've already rerouted the traffic again.
They've already started on 295 going south. Okay, everybody, move over.
Right.
Oh,
well,
that's
they had those move overs, and then they took them all away for about a month and a half. And I was like, what happened?
They're back.
Yeah, they're back.
All right. This is kind of not too amusing, but it's just ironic.
I like amusing.
Mount Vernon, New York's Deputy Commissioner of Public Safety is under arrest for allegedly being the getaway driver in a shooting involving her son.
Oh, jeez.
I'll drive the car.
Oh my
How about
God!
that?
Did she say I'll drive the car? Or did he say, hey, Mom, I got to get out and do something? Goes out and then jumps back in the car. All right, go.
Let's find out. Jennifer Lackard and her 20-year-old son, Chase, were both arrested at their home on attempted murder and other charges. Police accused the son of firing a gun near the Bronx Criminal Courthouse back in late June, with Lackard being the driver at the time of the shooting. The bullet didn't hit anyone, but authorities say alleged Lackard's son was aiming for a rival gang member.
Ugh.
Jennifer Lackard has been fired from her job.
Shocking.
You can't be the public safety director.
No.
So it doesn't really say.
No.
Mom, slow down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Mom,
bang.
I got to run in
now,
here.
Now get out of here.
And
You
you
shot from the car.
Oh, shot from the car?
Yes.
Oh, well then, yeah.
Or did she know that he was going to do this?
But,
It doesn't really say.
Well,
But
that's where we
boy,
come in. We make all this stuff up. We
just-
fill in the gaps,
just
Joe.
do.
That's what
not
we do
look
here on
good.
the show.
It
We
does
give you
not.
fill in
lots of
those
theories. Lots of theories.
All right. What state leads the nation in power outages? If you were to guess.
Wyoming.
No.
Oh,
Melissa? You've heard of this state?
I have.
Yes.
I've actually heard of all
You've
50.
heard of it? Yep. Okay.
I feel like it's got to be somewhere down south because of
It is not.
tornado.
It's California.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That
The,
doesn't actually.
uh,
That doesn't
The
surprise me.
Texas electricity ratings put together two decades worth of data looking at power
That's a big
outages
state,
that included frequency, how long they last, and the cost. So between 2003 and 2023, California led the nation with 493 significant outages.
Does that include when there's wildfires and all the power goes out because the wildfires and?
It doesn't say on that.
Well,
Just
also
how much it affected people. So outages affected more than 32 million people. So if it's over a wide area,
Well,
then
right.
yes.
So size and scale matters too, right? Did they not
Yeah.
proportionately? Because we lose power a lot in Rhode Island, I feel like, but obviously
Well-
we're not the same size as California. But if they're doing a formula ratio of
They're saying the outages lasted 41.4 hours. The most common cause were physical attacks and vandalism on electrical equipment, so not wildfires.
Well,
40 hours, like you're out for a
sabotage.
week.
Yep. California had its most significant power outages in 2022 with a total of 69. They happened in July, December, and August.
They
That's
don't
funny.
even have New England winter
Wow.
like we do.
I know.
So there you go, just in case you were wondering.
Which reminds me, I should start my generator up, make sure it's all
You
working
should.
fine.
It's
Sure-
that time.
sure it's working.
We might get snow next week. You don't know.
I don't think so.
No,
you-
but they
you
did
never
say
know.
we're supposed to have a rough fall. I think we're going to have some hurricane situations. So yes, check it.
All right.
So,
For
so
sure.
this happens, we think we're doing a good thing, and then it turns out not to be. A Florida man whose federal prison sentence was commuted by former President Barack Obama back behind bars on new drug charges.
Imagine that.
Yeah, the Polk County Sheriff's Office says 42-year-old Tony Lattimore was arrested after undercover detectives allegedly bought fentanyl and ecstasy pills from him. Investigators say Lattimore has recently been released from federal prison after serving time for cocaine distribution. Well, the problem is, maybe he went to Lowe's. Are they going to hire you when they look at your record? No, they're not.
Oh, that's the problem. That's
so
going
I
to be an
think
issue.
so you go back to what
Which-
I know to do and
which
how
is
I know to make
stealing
money.
and right.
And it's a revolving door. But now is this a good idea? I don't know. Tampa General Hospital in Florida is launching what it says the nation's first drone program to deliver whole blood directly to emergency scenes. We need AB positive. Which happens to be
And
mine,
you're
by the way.
putting it in-
Do they do?
At the
Putting
accident
it in
on
the-
the highway.
Do they
Ooh.
do blood transfusions like on scene?
I didn't
Well,
think so.
maybe they do in Florida.
Maybe.
And the EMS can do it.
Maybe they're trained for it.
The initiative developed.
Maybe they didn't before because there wasn't a fast way to get it to them. So now
They can.
it's
The initiative will allow drones to transport blood to patients suffering severe blood loss before they reach the hospital. Hospital officials say the drones could deliver blood in less than 3 minutes across parts of
There you go.
Hillsborough County, allowing first responders to begin transfusions sooner. So
there you go.
Huh.
That's because
Someday we're gonna look out into the sky, and about 400 feet
Where's
above
that
our
one
heads,
going?
we're gonna have this network of drones flying. They're gonna be Amazon drones,
It's
and
going to
there's
look
gonna
like Jetsons.
we're going to be up there with them, Tim. Like
yeah.
we're not going to be on the ground.
Now, this pilot program down in Tampa is going to begin in October, and if it receives approval from the Hillsborough County Commissioners, so
That's remarkable,
everything
actually.
brother's
That's pretty
gotta
cool.
Put their stamp of approval on it. Did you see what's going on? Since you're the flyer,
Yeah.
at the airplanes, the Mansfield Airport. There's no more planes over there. Because they're redoing the runways.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so
they're kind of small runways. They're
very small.
yeah. They're
And, but
I've landed there a
They're
couple
tight.
times.
all the Cessnas that were parked there.
Yep. Because they're you know what they're all North
They're in the
Central.
way.
They're in North Central.
Well,
now.
I bet they are.
Because I
They gotta
said
go
the other day
somewhere
when I was taxiing, I said to my instructor, I go, is it my imagination? There are a whole lot more airplanes here.
Oh,
She goes,
yeah.
yeah, they're doing something in Mansfield, and so all
Yes.
those planes have flown over here. I went,
And it's
oh.
going to be months
Yeah,
that they're doing this, that they're redoing the
it's
runway.
not a simple process to do a runway to
Well-
federal aviation
Oh,
standards.
yeah. And there's trucks coming.
I wonder if they're
and
widening it. Are they widening it or
Yes.
lengthening it?
little of both.
Widening,
Mostly
hopefully, 'cause it's
widening
narrow,
it, yeah.
but-
And there's signs all over the place because there's very large trucks coming in
Yeah.
on very narrow streets.
Right.
And they say you can't use this road.
The
Go
helicopters?
use another road. Medflight is still there.
It's
So
still
that's-
there because
that's
it's helicopter.
way away.
Right.
It's
They
also
don't
way
need a
away
runway.
from the runway.
Right, they
So
don't really need a
that still
runway.
works out of there. Okay, for the motorcycle fans in the crowd, the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally
yeah.
has begun. Yeah. Out in South Dakota. You don't know anything about this?
Nope.
You know?
Really?
No.
Really?
No, I'm going to learn.
It's an annual
Thousands.
tradition.
And it's called the
Tens
what?
of thousands.
Well, it takes place in Sturgis, South Dakota.
It's a
Okay.
motorcycle rally.
I
It's a
love how you're
motorcycle
looking
rally.
at me like I
How do you
should
not
know.
know
'Cause
this? You
I
should
don't
know-
know.
you should know
I should.
Usually it's on
now
the
I know,
news.
Joe.
Okay.
I will not
the
forget.
annual kickoff starts today with the police chief's ride, led by the Sturgis police chief, Getty Vanderwater. It's the 80. This is how we don't know. It's the 86th annual
Yeah. So
Sturgis motorcycle
Today
rally.
People
is
from
day
all over
one
the
of me
country.
learning about it.
Oh,
I will
all
never
right,
forget
all
it
right.
again.
People from all over the country, some will actually ride their motorcycles to
Cycles there.
Sturgis, so I can't
Yeah.
imagine going from Florida to Sturgis, South
But they-
Dakota. or-
South Dakota.
I would
But they
really
do.
appreciate some support from a listener in the audience that may
never heard
also
about it?
not.
No,
Hey,
come on. Everybody-
So it
Sure.
runs August 7th,
Right.
which is Friday, through the 16th. This year's theme is America 250, which makes sense that they're doing it.
Have you heard of Laconia Bike Week in New Hampshire?
Yes.
Okay, well,
It's
this
the
is
same
Laconia
thing.
Bike
This is
Week
like
on
that-
steroids.
On
Oh, yeah.
steroids. Okay.
much
Yeah,
larger.
because there's so much flat land out there for people to ride, and they just have these giant
Plenty of
caravans of
places to
motorcycles and camping, and
And,
the town becomes just overrun.
yeah,
with
it's like a
people.
town of like 1,000 with 3 cops.
Yeah, which goes
And-
to like 10,000.
And then
at this
it
rally.
blows up this 1 week of. It's a huge event.
Right.
That takes place out there.
Right, there's lots of partying.
There's a lot
and
of judgment
there's lots of
happening in
partying,
this
and
room
there's
right now.
there's
I will-
lots of.
Your face was judging, Joe.
I'm just surprised
I
you
felt
never
it.
heard of it.
Yeah, here we go again.
Okay.
Today is
But
day one.
The bars,
You're gonna look that up when
They
we get
gear
back.
up for this 10-day thing.
Yeah.
Because they have to make all their money
in this 10 days.
in this 10 days.
Do they
So
televise this? Is this like?
It's not really televised.
I wouldn't say
It's just
televised.
The news
I've seen
reports
specials
come- right.
on it.
Okay.
It can get a little raucous.
Right.
Acts like George Thorogood goes
Yeah.
and plays there.
Yeah, big concerts.
Big
and stuff.
concerts happen there.
Coachella
Raucous,
for bikers, that's what it is.
Little,
It's-
little bawdy at times.
Oh, little.
With the women.
Yeah.
And people park on the side of the road and they just got. They're not organized parades, but just ride up and down,
Right.
showing off your motorcycle.
Right.
Is what you're doing, and don't show up with a Kawasaki or a Honda.
Oh, don't do that. It's a Harley or an
You'll-
Indian,
or you'll be
right,
thrown out.
Right,
You'll be
yeah.
tarred and feathered. if
right.
you don't get out of
Ducati
there.
maybe.
Yeah. So anyway, so it starts today. So, and I've asked people that
So
ride.
it's a bougie
Not really-
motorcycle.
Not really bougie.
Well, you just kind of omitted
No,
a couple
it's
brands
not
that would not
really
be allowed to
bougie.
go. Well,
Oh,
I'm saying you're
True.
judging certain brands that don't.
Well, plenty of Budweiser's okay. Coors is fine. Miller's all right. But nothing. No.
No Milwaukee's best.
No, that'll be okay.
Yeah,
but I'm thinking
that'll
like Stella Artois. No.
No. Oh, okay. So not that.
Narragansett, though. They're
No,
probably
maybe
Narragansett.
Narragansett. I don't think Corona, no limes
No.
in the little bottle with these guys and ladies. So there you go. All right, and let's hear it for Viola Davis from Rhode Island. She's set to star in a new thriller on Paramount Plus called Ascent, which has been greenlit by Paramount Plus. Takes place in a dangerous world of global corporate crisis and damage control. She's going to play elite corporate fixer Catriona Vale, who must use skills that made her indispensable to billion-dollar clients when her estranged daughter is in danger. The Oscar-winning actress from Central Falls says she's overwhelmingly excited about this journey. The show is slated to begin production in 2027.
She and her husband just gave $1.2 million to Central Falls to
amazing
a community center, right?
Yep.
Is that what it
Which
was?
is a little weird because there's already a community center in Central Falls.
Well,
but I think they're adding
there's
a
one
food
being built.
bank in it, right? Or it's attached already to a food bank.
Not quite sure what the difference is, to be honest with you, because we supported the first one.
You didn't give $1.5 million. I don't know.
No, we did not.
It looks like they're rebranding
Couple
it,
$100,000
refacing
though.
it, putting a big.
Well, that's not the
picture.
one.
Oh.
That's the one that
Yeah,
we
it's a new
supported.
one.
That
Yeah.
one's called El Centro Community Center.
Yeah.
And it's the mayor and her team have created that environment. I guess there's a former town councilman who's kind of sort of went to Viola direct and said, "Hey, I want to do this." And essentially, it's similar stuff that the Central Falls Community Center is going to be doing. Not that this city doesn't need a lot of those centers.
Yeah.
They really do. So,
all right, we got to wrap things up for the show for today. Oh, it goes by so fast, doesn't it?
It does.
I just always want to make sure
Joe only had to
Joe still
participate in
loves
half
us
the
at the
show.
end of the
He
show.
only had to do
Or
half
he's
the
like,
show.
get out. I'm not sure.
It's all very relaxing, though.
Coming in next week with a stoplight.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Melissa Smith, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you for having me. See you next week.
All right. And Tim Draper, thanks for being here.
Joe, thanks for having me, and everybody go out there and go enjoy the God-given day.
All right. I'm Joe Callahan. Enjoy the day. Stay tuned for Gary Smith and the crew. They're coming up after the 9 o'clock news.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner.